Hello, everybody. I'm Captain, and welcome to another episode of The Long Way Home. So, last time I spent most of the episode, or all of the episode rather, bringing down the equipment that had been up above. So now the only thing that's up there is basically a recharge station and for my vehicles and some turrets, and I plan to put a couple more of those on for defense. So this episode, what I want to work on is getting a spaceship built for exploration in space. So I want to do something deliberately a little different. So what I want to do is I want to build something that kind of resembles the Y-Wing, but not quite. So let's get started on that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is right off of the back heel, I want to have a conveyor right off the cargo container, which is going to be my actual intersection point for the Y. I want a conveyor junction, and then I want another conveyor junction facing the opposite way. And then I'm going to have my cockpit. And those conveyor junctions will make more sense here in a minute. So after that, then I'm gonna have two more containers. So I'm gonna have the 3 large cargo containers, and then off of that I'm gonna have some hydrogen tanks. So hydrogen tank and hydrogen tank. 2 hydrogen tanks. And then I need some of my critical components. So I'm gonna need a H2O gen. And I'm going to need also a oxygen tank. So I want to put the oxygen tank right off this connector. Just like that. And then I want to put the H2O gen right off of the connector on this side. So, even though they're a little lopsided, it provides a nice mounting point for them. Or better yet, let's put my oxygen tank on this side and my H2O gen on this side. Then that leaves me with space for another cargo container and then my junction. swap this out. Put my junction heel and then my cargo container heel. And then my cockpit. Oh, that looks better. Okay, so this is kind of going to be the main body of the ship. So let's get this all welded up. Oh, that's a ladybug, and it's coming this way quick. I don't think I want to stick around. That thing gets within about 2 kilometers of me, roughly. It's going to try to attack me, so let's not stick around. Good. Let's try looping back around. Alright, there's my other hydrogen tank. Okay, hydrogen thrusters. One and two. Okay, so let's put a vent right here in between these. And I'm gonna have my main lift thrusters right there. And my main propulsion thrusters in the back here. And I'll put some cowling on it to make it look more like an actual Y-wing here in a little while. But I just want to get the basic shape down first. Okay. Let's see here. Oxygen tank. Yep, that's slowly filling. Good. Now, you might be asking why I didn't put a lift thruster here, and you'll see why in a little bit. I've got a plan for that junction, and I'll get to it here in a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna need some maneuvering thrusters as well. So let's get those placed. So So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to put some small conveyor junctions here. So that I can put in some parachutes off of those ports as well. Alright, so I realized that I was running a little lower than I would like on energy right now, so I decided I would add in real quick some power efficiency modules to make this assembler more efficient. So I had 17 hours before I put that one on of power in the battery. Still got the same amount, but my max usage is gone down quite a bit, because that was about 800. There we go, 2 power efficiency modules. That lowers it down to 375, so that really will help in the long run. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, so I've got my lift thrusters, my reverse thrusters, my maneuvering thrusters, side to side and up and down. Oh, missed one. So I got those all done. I've got my oxygen tank. I've got my hydrogen generator. Got my cockpit and plenty of cargo. I'm missing so far on this batteries and gyroscopes, so I'll get those next. I'm also missing the parachutes, which I'll get on here in a little bit. But it's starting to come together. I have no idea if those thrusters are going to be enough to pick this thing up though or not. We'll see. So on either side of this junction seems like a really good spot for those batteries, so I'll put them right there, one on each side. So I'll put the gyroscopes off of the batteries just like that too. And then I'm gonna need a connector right here. That just about completes the critical components of the build. Okay, so I'm gonna want something to pick this Y-wing up so that whenever I land, I can mount it to the aerial lift unit and to the ground unit. So I'm gonna do little pistons at the back, 2 of them at the back, 1 of them at the front, and it'll pick it up that way. Guess I'm gonna end up doing 2 at the front here to make it look right. Okay, there's the lift assembly. So I decided I want to move this stuff, the batteries, forward to wait in this area. Because I want to put a pair of hydrogen engines for power on this thing. The best spot to put them is right in where the batteries are, so I want to move the batteries forward. Okay, these batteries are now discharged, so I can remove them. Hydrogen engine.
Energy low.
Okay, hydrogen engines are done. The new batteries are done. Okay, so I'm gonna need a bunch of ice for this. Because that is more or less done. Alright, so I need to mine some ice, and I really don't want to mess up the area around my base too much more than what it already is. So I'm gonna move away from the base a little bit and start digging for some snow. Let's load up this machine with some ice. Oh, apparently I have left on some thrusters. Those need shut off before they burn through all my hydrogen. Wow. For the next part of this build, I'm gonna have to raise it up so that I can get underneath it so I can build the next stage, which is gonna be the atmospheric stage. So I'm gonna have to cut it off at this point, but I don't want to just cut it off. I want to extend these pistons here so that they keep the ship from being too lopsided. Okay, there we go. So those are moist. Alright, let's cut it off. Okay, keep raising this up. Okay, so to keep this from walking all over the place as I'm working on it, and for whenever I land it later, I'm gonna need some small landing gear on these pistons. Okay, so in order to see if we can even hover in this, I'm gonna unlock the landing gear. Ooh, that's different. Didn't anticipate spinning around the 360. Oh, I need to put on the gyroscopes. I took the gyroscopes off and never put them back on. Ah, biscuits. scope. There we go. Why is that lifting off immediately? Well, I've got enough to pick up, barely. I would guess it wanting to roll is me not having enough side-to-side thrust to keep control of it. Just a guess, though. But let's increase the side-to-side thrust. I think that's the next step. After that. Okay, I think I'm gonna need some more thrusters, large thrusters on the bottom of this to get enough lift to get this up. So let's add 2 there. There, that'll give me lots of thrust to lift with. So, to make sure this all lines up, I'm gonna come down off of this connector with a series of blocks. Then I'm gonna build the connector that this is gonna mount to. Now, unfortunately, I can't grind this away until I have a power source on the lift unit itself, which won't take too much work, I think. Okay, so rather than try to prototype and talk about what I'm thinking while I'm doing it, since I really didn't have a good design in mind as I was doing it, I decided to go ahead, prototype, play around with it, and figure out what I wanted this to look like more or less off screen, so then I can explain it to you and show you what I did in a more smooth manner, because me deciding I'm gonna do X and then no, I don't like that, and deciding to do Y instead just wasn't really gonna work for showing you this. So I've decided to scrap the atmospheric stage, and instead I ended up modifying what I had already built for the atmospheric stage into the ground stage. I kept the connector to the Y-wing underneath, and I piped it down in through here to the connector at the end. I also kept a couple of the engines that I was gonna use as like a boost to help me get up the hill, because this thing ain't exactly light. I then added in some wheels on each side, made some nice wheel wells. I made sure that it was going to walk with being able to come in between those pistons over there, as well as being able to go around the pistons in the front. I added in some ladles, and right now I got it raised up while connected so that I can walk underneath and show it to you guys. So I'm gonna lower it down here so we can look at it in a more normal way. Alright, so here it is in more of a drive mode. You can see the pistons are retracted up and out of the way. And because this is all a subgrid right now, I added in this remote control block here and the antenna underneath so that I can take control of the remote control block and then drive it that way. That gives me control of the steering. Also lets me tone on and off the boost and other things like that. So I've also added in the ladles on the front heel and right heel on each side, so I can climb up while this thing is docked to work on stuff, and also so that it makes it easier to get into the cockpit of the Y-Wing that way. Now, the only thing this thing's missing to be able to fly is a little more fuel, my parachutes, and I'd like to add in a couple more gyroscopes, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, there we go. There's gyroscopes added in. So let's add in parachutes. Wait, why are we moving? I'm stuck. Houston, I've got a problem. Haha! I have freed myself. Okay, so I've added 14 parachutes around this thing. Hopefully that's enough. We'll find out whenever I bring it back. Hopefully I survive the landing. But I'll need some canvas then. So 14 canvas. Alright, and all the parachute hatches now are loaded. Should be about full on fuel. No, let me load some more in. And there we go, 100. Full tanks. Okay, so I've added in 2 high-powered spotlights off the parachute hatches up front. I've also added in some lights, like this one under heel.
Energy
And then
low.
one heel and heel, and the same on the other side. Just to give me a little light while I'm up in space. Other than that, see. I don't think there's anything else that I haven't already covered. I've tossed in enough spare parts that I can make, or at least repair my cockpit and a couple other parts on this thing while I'm up there, because up in space I won't have access to anything to make any components. Any refineries and stuff like that I won't have access to. And my wheelbases. Oh, that's a problem. My wheels are not far enough forward to let me climb this thing. There we go. Well, I guess I had to trim back the front wheels there a little bit. Or at least the cowling on the wheels. Didn't want to, it looked pretty cool and I liked the look of it. But I guess I gotta be able to get it out of the hole in order to fly it. Okay. So I think it's all done and ready to go to space. I'm just gonna charge up the batteries a little bit, and then after it's charged up some, I'm gonna go to space. However, I think I'll do that next week, because that will make an interesting adventure. Anyway, I'll see everybody next week. This is Iron Captain signing off.